next 12 minutes, we will try to answer this question. How can we guarantee human dignity and freedom? In Hebrew, we have this saying, כבוד, האדם וחירותו. That is the translation, dignity and freedom. But it's go much deeper than this, I don't know, this shallow word from my perspective, and we will go deep in the next minutes. Let's get over the core values. You know, we all believe all persons should live in freedom, included in the community, not segregated. We know that oppression and segregation add a lot of disadvantaged population. We all know about human history, about Afro-American. We know here in Israel about the Ethiopian community, and so on. Supposedly, we all believe those core values are a big issue. But when we go deeper, I'll show you that we are very, very far from implementing those values. First, let me say that those values are true to anyone. No differentiation should be made among the various sort of disability. But I think there's not a day goes by without someone telling me that this woman with a severe disability, the severe intellectual disability and complex needs, oh, סיגל, you know, she really can't express herself. What are you talking about? What are these words of dignity and choices? She can't choose anything. And that's something that makes me furious because it's such a wrong thing to say. You know, once there was a mother who was saying that to me, and the next sentence she told me about how her daughter, a 40-year-old woman, live in a hostel. Every time that one of the staff approaches her, she cries and she gets her body away from this staff member, and she expresses herself in the way she knows and make her choice. And the woman that was talking to me, the mother, realized that there is a choice for everyone. We just have to know them better and to listen and to mediate between them and the world. You know, Gideon is here from the Welfare Ministry, and we are going through a very, very big process he leads. Later on in my presentation, I will talk about it, but we have this dispute between us, disagreement about the people with the complex needs going to the community. And I think once we believe in these core values, everyone will go this way, Gideon included. Theoretically, we all believe we should keep the disabled person human dignity and freedom. But do we? That's picture, you know, you see this man there, Professor Steve Eidelman. This is a tribute for you. Professor Steve Eidelman, that is joining us today, is the head of the Leadership Institute in Delaware University that I learned there. And he is sending us every week this inspiration quotes, and this is one of them. And I wanted to ask you all, do we really let the people we support their freedom and their choices and their dignity? When we are telling everyone what time they go to shower and what work they go to, and every hour in their schedule organized for them, are we really implementing those values? But it's not enough. Those core values I talked about, the freedom and choices, it's not enough to guarantee men's dignity. We have another huge issue, love. people need to be loved, people need to love. I think there's a lot of research proving that that's the essence of life. Every one of us needed few people that care about him and he care about. And you know, the Judaism talk about leprosy considered to be a dead man. A man with a leprosy considered to be a dead man. And they explaining this because, not because of the man, of the pains of the disease, he considered to be a dead man, but because of the agony of being alone, because of the agony of not belonging, of being excluded from his community. And that shows us how much importance the Judaism that is very smart and wisdom Torah teaches us. So how do we do it? How do we implement those values? Where do we start? And I want to talk about how the changing of the approach is so much important. You know, I'm coming from Akim. Akim, until lately, its definition is a parents' organization, a national parents' organization of people with intellectual disability. No more. We are still a parents' organization, but also an organization for the people with the disabilities themselves. And that's the big change we are going through in Akim. I'll tell you more in the next minutes, but before I do that, just a minute. Changing the approach from parents' organization to a person-centered organization, changing the approach from paternalism to self-advocacy, from medical model to human rights model, that is a huge change for us in Akim because of our start point. But we are doing it step by step with a lot of arguments, a lot of discussions inside the organization, but we are doing it. Liberty and freedom should not be conflicted value to safety and health. That's something that always is in the open. I want to tell you about one success story in the south of Israel. There were one family that her son was in one of our apartments, and the son was very frightened to go outside of his apartment. He never lived it without a shepherd or when he felt very comfortable with someone he felt very comfortable with. So a person-centered approach entered his life, and Akim's staff started to work with him very, very hardly. They get to know his narrative, they get to know his family well, they get to know him very well, his desires. And he talked about how he wants to go abroad to meet his family, but he's afraid. He won't go out the streets, so he never dreamed he can go on a plane to the US to visit his family. And to make a long story short, he did. He did. And the mother was very, very afraid. She didn't want the staff to allow him to go out, even for 5 minutes. There was a lot of risk in taking the person-centered approach and leading him through helping him and supporting him to fulfill his dreams. And the mother didn't realize she is interrupting his progress, but working with her, working with him, get them to a huge success. You know, the personal story of each person is the start point. We can't look at the evaluation of the committee. Oh, now we know him. מוגבלות שכלית בינונית, מוגבלות שכלית קלה. הנה אני יודע. I know right away where to, where can he be, and his whole life is programmed, nothing to worry about. We can't address anyone by papers. It doesn't work. It's not fair. It's hurting his dignity and freedom, and we can't do it. We must know him as a person. I just want to go quick because we haven't got that much time. A sense of control, life allows self-realization and a meaningful life. We encourage, we should stop. I know it's harsh to say, but I want every one of you thinking about a person that we are telling him to do everything he does. So this picture is not harsh when you know that's what's going to that's what happened really. So we try to change that and encouraging self-advocacy. The person manages his own budget. He is the one who earning his money. He should be the one who is saying how to spend it. The person chooses his own gainful employment. The person chooses his supportive staff. I know it was a bit of a drama in Akim that the people with the intellectual disability starting to interview the staff and chooses. And we are not giving them one choice. They have to really choose. And they can say what they think if someone is supposed to be fired. So it's not an easy issue to do it, and that's why we are doing it step by step in a pilot back up north, and we are going to do it in all of our activities. But it's very important that the person will know we should give him the power to choose the people around him. And we also try to tell him he is not the caretaker, he is your personal assistant. Stephen here have me meet Ellen in Boston, I think. And when Ellen, a man with intellectual disability, introduced me to his staff member, he told me, "This is my personal assistant, meet him." And I was so, it took me by a shock because it's such a different approach. The person creates a social network. Remember the leprosy? We don't want it. We want them to feel belong. We want them to feel loved. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So we will go very quickly. So, okay. No. We don't have time. So maybe a few words about what happened in Akim. We started to do a satisfaction surveys in simple language, cognitive accessibility, and our people saying to us, the people we support saying to us what they feel and what they want. Every person can both vote and be elected to everything he wants. Every man and woman that we support started his own person-centered planning, starting of knowing him and then follow his or her dreams, managing their own budget. We also started to do these singles workshops. We in Akim believe very much that a man or a woman should meet her boyfriend or girlfriend, her mate, and we invest a lot in this because we think it brings a lot of joy to their lives. Okay. This is a meeting between the parent committee of one apartment and the people committee. And they are sitting together and talking about their issue. No more the parent committee is talking about their agendas, and the people are talking about a whole different agenda. No more. They are all together talking. You know, this is Dudi. Dudi from Herzliya. And Dudi believes in himself. You know, you can't do self-advocacy if your self-esteem is very low. You have to know who you are, what you want, how much you are loved, and that's the way you express yourself and your willings. And Dudi did that. He, at first, איך אומרים ועדת השמה?
Placement committee.
Placement committee didn't want to meet him. They put their decision on a paper saying he is going to this employment service and that's going to be it. Dudi insisted with Akim staff in Herzliya that he will meet the committee and say what he wants, and he did. And you know, there are great people in these committees, very committed. So once they met him, they changed their point of view and let him do the change. Cognitive accessibility, you know, in Israel, we had election every 2 years, so we have to bring to the people we support what the parties are saying. So we did this in simple words. We took every Labour Party, Likud Party, and we put it in few words. We sent it to the parties, and they approved it. And we did this folder and spread it around the country, and the people get to vote what they wanted. Self-advocacy, the people in Israel, אנחנו מסיימים. טוב, חברים. I'll show you just this two. These are two metrics that I learned in the Leadership Institute. No. This one, no. איפה זה? This one help us in the social network of each person. And this one, the three success metrics for the person-centered support. It is like the Bible. We are looking at it. We are examining ourselves. You should look it up in the presentation because I won't have the time. The power of language. I'll say just in Hebrew. חבר'ה, בואו נפסיק להגיד חניכים. בואו נפסיק להגיד ילדים. נתייחס לאנשים כאל אדם ואישה. ילד או ילדה אם הם באמת ילדים. Let's stop saying trainee or children. Let's talk to them with the respect they should get. This is the trends in Israel, the transition of the 900 that I want. גדעון, אני לא מצליחה לספר את זה. Okay, you are all welcome to Gidon's session that we'll talk about it later on. Employment in the free market, small groups, but I want to tell you just one thing. We want to establish a self-advocates boards all around the country, near every parent's board. In every one of the 64 boards of branches of Akim Israel, we have 64 branches in Akim Israel, all around the country. Each and one of them will have a board of people with intellectual disability. We started this. I want to say that tomorrow they are going to be here in the convention, so please meet them later on. Nadra changed her guardianship. She chose another guardianship that let her control her budget, let her control her life. And Nadra will speak tomorrow and tell her story. And Akim assisted her and did that. And I think because we don't have, that's also a tribute to Steve Eidelman sitting here. That's success for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.